I'm gonna need everybody, all of my friends and family who I'm close with, to forget that I existed for the next however long.
Warning: the themes that are about to be discussed are very mature in content. Mature themes are also mentioned, because viewer discretion is advised. The reason this video is over 18 plus is not because it is gay but because of the mature themes. I legit said mature themes 4 times in the original video, don't judge me.
So it's been a while. We don't have to talk about how long it's been. It's just been a while. And currently, it is February. I don't remember last time that I uploaded a video, but I feel like it was a while. I keep saying a while. It was a while ago though. But I'm back. I think we shall see. I've decided to make some TikTok content, which could be displayed here. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about today is slightly embarrassing. And I know that my weebs will definitely relate, depends on what type of weeb they are. But as to me, I love comic books. I found out about American Virgin, which I thought was a great, like, what is this? No, that's not even the worst one. Where is it? This is my favorite one. Look at that one. But I also like manga. I know that I have some non-love or romance related manga. I just can't remember what it is. But I've also always been a fan of BLs. I don't know why. That's a very good question. But that's not what we're not here to like dissect me liking that. This is embarrassing. I want to talk about the storylines for the last 3 that I decided to read and have mentally effed me up. Yeah? Good? Great. That's what we're doing. Because the most recent ones that I just read, Yarchin Bitchboo, Killing Stalking, Love is an Illusion. Love is an Illusion was probably my favorite out of 3 that I just recently read because I'm trash for ABO. Is this a confessional? I don't like it. Alpha, Beta, Omega Dynamics. I love werewolves. Yarchin Bitchboo is a story about a boy named Takashi, yes, Takashi Tono, and he just moved to a high school dormitory that is in the middle of the mountains. He is a loner, doesn't really fit in with people, that kind of stuff. He decides on his first day after meeting with a guy named Yaguchi, but he calls him Yachan, one of them. He realizes that that guy is like super nice and the guy suggests that he join a club, so he decides that he's going to join the photography club because it seems like the easiest club to join and it doesn't have to do with sports. So he signs up for this club, photography club, and as soon as he walks in, he realizes that he is in the wrong base. But the president reassures him that no, you are in the right place, but we are the photography club, but we are actually the Yarchin Bitch Club. This kid has lost his mind. I don't really blame him because the scene that he walks in on is something that is very hard to explain, whether or not you're in a club that's about that or just casually at home. So the president is Akemi. His boyfriend's name is Itomi. Then there's Tamara, Yuri, and Shikatani. So Tono decides, no, this is not where I need to be. And right as he is about to leave, another student walks in and they reintroduce themselves. It's like, hey, we're the Yarchin Bitch Club. And this guy is absolutely unfazed. His name is Kashima. He's ready to be like in the club. He's ready for everything that comes in the club requirements, which one of the requirements is like you're supposed to have sex with 5 people in a month at an all-boys school where students and teachers are all in on it and there's no law enforcement. It sounds absolutely crazy explaining it out loud because it is. It's insane. And if they don't meet the requirement, then they just have to huddle together. They have a gangbang. Immediately, Tono is like, no, not happening, cannot happen. Honestly, he doesn't need a reason There's some weird dubious consent going on in this club. I don't get why these boys just don't leave the club. I guess there's some kind of requirement. You can't leave the club once you signed up for it. You have to stay in it for the entire year. Because at some point, Tono also says that he wants to quit. And Akami's like, no, please don't quit. Like, so he has a way out, but he just decides not to. The show itself is absolutely insanity. There's a lot to uncover with that one because you've got the dubious consent, the whatever, the
cuddle session,
and the fact that the more that they spend time with each other, Kashima and Tono, Kashima has feelings for Tono. Tono likes Yaguchi, and Yaguchi is Kashima's cousin. Tono thinks that Ya-chan has a crush on his cousin Kashima, but he really just wants to be like Kashima. He really just wants to steal Tono from Kashima. At the end of the month, you find out that, not surprising, Kashima and Tono didn't make the cut. So obviously they were about to be
cuddle session.
And then Kashima's like, wait a second, I can't stand another second with another man touching my Tono. And so they fake dating, which like also doesn't make any sense because Itomi and Akami are actually dating. It's a lot. The manga has way more storyline in it because the anime only has 2 episodes. Don't know if I would suggest it. So on like a pass and then like a worth watching, it's probably about like a 3 out of 5. Killing Stalking is a psychological horror by Kuji, and it has 2 main characters, Yoon Bum, also known as Bum, and Oh Sangwoo. In the beginning, right as you start, Bum has a crush on Sangwoo, and it's like seemingly innocent. You're like, oh, this is so sweet and stuff, but then you realize that he's a stalker. He stalks Sangwoo. It is in the title. Like, breaks into his house and stuff, smells his sheet. It gets way worse than that. If you're ready to hear this, buckle up. If not, just skip to this time card. So he breaks into Sangwoo's house, he goes through all of this dude's house, and he hears something in the basement. Turns out, Sangwoo, not all there. Well, I mean, he is there, he's got some problems, is what I'm saying. It's not like a, oh, he's that cute and kawaii. He's just got like a little teeny tiny Oedipus problem. No, another dubious consent kind of thing. But he goes along with it and he takes Bum on a freaking roller coaster. Mental, physical, legit physical, you know, some other things. It's a whirlwind is what I'm saying. It's not boys love. It is not, because it is surrounded by this giant thick veil that you know is wrong. It's just a huge layer of wrong around everything that they do. He makes Bum dress up like a girl. He breaks Bum's legs. Absolutely toxic. You see that they grow a dependence on one another. They become codependent, but they're also catastrophic when they're codependent, but they're also even worse when they're apart. They go through some, is what I'm saying. It just goes so down. It implodes is what happens. Sangwoo starts seeing some and hearing some and he remembers some and he's not taking it out on Bum, but it's the fact that Bum is in the circle seeing it happen is that it's the worst part. Sangwoo won't explain anything to him. Bum is still like psyched that they're together at one point. Some people from the past come in, and I'm telling you that I've been decompressing and analyzing this for 4 days since it happened, since I read the finale. And the finale is not good. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I definitely don't want to try and spoil anything. Things happen. A lot of bad things happen. More bad things happen in order. People from the past come in. I don't know if anybody else gets so emotionally attached, but at one point I was like, I would much rather it be a mediocre ending with these two coming, like, staying in each other's lives rather than what I got. Their own personal hell is being away from each other. Sang-woo's is being able to see Bum but not control him, and then Bum's is being around Sang-woo but Sang-woo ignoring him. They're toxic human beings. They're both mentally unstable. I am still distraught over that because it is, I mean, wow, just wow. It's a lot. It's way too much. Like, for people with a weak stomach, people who hate horror or psychological stuff, that is not for you. Gotta get the dark one out of the way because we went through the cringe one, now it's the dark one, and then the last one is the actually kind of cute one. But on a scale of don't bother, worth reading, it's all based on your tastes. If you can't stick it out, if you can't read through all of it, it's not worth it. Don't try it. It will legitimately make your day worse. Or that's just me. It did. It always used to make my day worse when I didn't know how the next chapter was gonna go. Because it always ends on a cliffhanger. Like, not even the best cliffhanger. Horrible cliffhanger. No offense to Kuji. They did a really good job. But for people like that who love horror and love hearing like scary stories and stuff like that, it's really worth your time. Psychologically, have some wine. Get wine drunk so then you don't remember what happens the next day, and then you keep going through the regular chapters, forgetting that the psychological chapters really you up. I'm trash. I'm absolutely trash because Sang-woo got no right looking like this, looking like a birthday cake. I can't stand it. Like, so cute. And I know that I sound like a Hebristophile right now, but I can't help it. The way these people draw men is just like, woof. Like, props to you. Good segue, because another person who don't have no business looking the way that he does is Park Do-jin. Park Do-jin is from Love is an Illusion, which was the ABO thing that I was mentioning way earlier in the video. It's basically a world where alphas, betas, and omegas exist. Alphas and omegas, they emit pheromones, which attract them to one another, but betas are like regular people, they got regular anatomy and all the other stuff. I say that because omegas do not have regular anatomy. The male omegas have it's not funny, don't laugh. They have a male uterus. They have a uterus. They have a deuterus. Alphas are like big, strong men and women and stuff. Also, they never ever, like at any point whatsoever, tell you what happens when there's a female alpha and omega pair. Anyways, Park Do-jin, he is like the alpha of the alphas or whatever. He's like really popular as an alpha. You later learn that he is the son of the Seons. His family is very rich is what I'm trying to say. Rich and popular. They're well known. They own a lot of malls and stuff like that. They're buku rich. But he's like a simple like rock star. Not like well known, but he's trying to make a name for himself. He's working on it really well. His friend is Haesoo, and they go to a party. It's important about that party itself is that that's where they meet Haesung, or that's where Park Do-jin meets Haesung. And Haesung has convinced himself for the past 18 years, or past, how old is he? Past 20 years that he is an alpha. And he is teeny tiny. Park Do-jin is like a certified alpha, and Haesung is like, I'm an alpha. Honey boo boo, we gotta talk. Haesung is, he's a waiter, so he's around all these other alphas and betas, and all the alphas are like hitting on him and stuff, and he's like, no, I'm an alpha, I'm a late bloomer. That's what he's trying to convince everybody of. So he has these alpha pheromones that he's trying to like spray on himself so that everybody is like, oh, well, I guess he is an alpha. I guess we'll leave him alone now. So he's in the bathroom, he's spraying it on himself. Doesn't work, by the way. Backfires horribly because I guess that combined with Park Do-jin's pheromones when he walks into the bathroom really sends Haesung into like a heat. Do-jin's like, fine, I'll take you home. Takes him back to his apartment. And he's like, I'm an alpha. Like still complaining about it and stuff. At the same time that he's like, I'm an alpha, he starts... Do-jin's like, no, you are not, and I'll tell you why. Because this is this way, and you feel this, that is that. And so immediately, Haesung's not even like phased or upset about it. He's like,
cuddle session.
Dojin's like, no, we can't. You're not even in your right mind. You're gonna freak out. Huh. It seems like it's part of their culture that if you do something that is not just straight vanilla, you're a pervert. Kind of wants Haesung to stay. I think that's when Haesung actually believes that he hates Park Dojin. And so for the rest of the story, it unfurls and you're like, well, maybe there's something there, and you realize that Dojin really likes Haesung and he just wants to keep him around, but Haesung is still like, keep yourself away from me because you know that I act stupid in front of you, right? Their baby is so cute, baby Buell. That was the cutest one that I've read recently. It was a while ago that I read 10 Count, Jackass, and Blue Morning. But long story short, you should read a manga. And if you have a manga that you really liked, or if you have any recommendations for me, please comment down below. Also in the description I have my Twitter, Instagram, and I'll have a link to my second channel, which is my streamer highlight channel, and my twitch.tv. Until then, goodbye.